Now we're going to take that same portrait and we're going to go ahead and place it inside of Perfect Black and White. Now once in there, the first thing I'm going to do is go to the left-hand side where all of the effects are, and you'll notice that there is an entire section labeled Hollywood Portrait. So I'm just going to go ahead and twirl this open so I can take a look at all the different previews. I can scroll through and take a look at what they might look like. I'm going to go back up to the top and I'm going to choose this one called Ambrose, which will add a nice soft sepia tone effect to it. Next, I'm going to go over to the right-hand side and I'm going to brighten up my image just a little bit, and I'm going to add just a little bit more contrast. Next, I'm going to scroll down to my color response panel, and I'm going to take this red slider here and I'm going to darken it quite a bit. You'll notice that it's adding a little bit more deepness to the lips right there. The next thing I'm going to do is take my yellow slider and raise it up a little bit so it'll really start to brighten the yellow undertones of her skin and her blonde hair. Now her face has a lot more contrast and appears to have a lot more detail without going overboard. The next thing I'm going to do is select my brightness brush, and I'm going to add a little bit of blush to her cheeks. I'm going to select my mode and choose darken instead of lighten. I'm going to make sure my feather is quite high, close to about 70%, and I'm going to leave my perfect brush on, and I'll lower my amount all the way down to about 2 or 3. I'm going to make my brush just a little bit bigger, and all I'm going to do is just sweep it very lightly on her cheeks. This is going to make it appear as though she has a little bit of blush on, but it's not going to overwhelm the portrait. It'll give a little bit more dimension to her face. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to add a film-inspired border. So I'm just going to turn this panel on. I'm going to go to my category and I'm going to choose sloppy borders. Now I love the first one that pops up called Pin Line. Now all I want to do is go ahead and change the size. So I'm just going to take my size slider and I'm going to move it over until I'm happy. I like it right about there, push it right to the edge of my portrait, and I'm good to go. So now I have a beautifully edited black and white portrait.